Good day. To carry on with our lecture today on organic and sustainable farming, I'll be discussing the components of organic farming and sustainable agriculture. I am Jason Ovillamore. For the outline of my presentation, I'll be discussing first on the historical antecedents and current views in organic farming. Next is components of organic farming, basically from seed to seed. Next one is on the need for organic and sustainable farming. And lastly, on sustainable farming and the sustainable development goals. This topic is very timely, and this could give us and help us to develop techniques that we can use, especially in these times of global pandemic, to carry on with our respective lives and enjoy the things can be offered to us by life sustenance that is coming from crop farming. Historical antecedents and current views in organic farming, as presented in Table 1, showcasing the key background information, organic farming and gardening. And first on the list that I'd like to highlight is that coming from King in 1911. He mentioned his travelogue and descriptions or observations of farming systems. Basically, he's from the United States Department of Agriculture, and he highlighted his travels in some Asian countries like China, Korea, and Japan in the early 1900s. He provided a primer on classic sustainable agriculture that has endured for more than 4,000 years. Next on the list is that of Howard in 1943, as he provided detailed instructions on compost management and development of humus in the soil. Basically, this is on the experiences of Alfred Howard when he was in India, and he provided some interesting ideas on integrated farming. Rodell in 1955, who is a visionary author and publisher, who demonstrated farming and gardening techniques on his research farm. He is the founder as well of the Rodell Press, and he popularized the concept of organic and sustainable farming in the United States. And on the list is Steiner in 1958, who is a German national, and he's a founder of the anthroposophy and father of biodynamic agriculture. He provided a way as to how spiritual beliefs and the biological techniques of doing crop farming, especially with his special techniques on composting. Basically, those are the significant contributions of Rudolf Steiner. Edwards et al. In 1990 provided a comprehensive review of sustainable agriculture in series of chapters, including historical roots, written by Richard Harwood. And this contains many references and updates on organic farming. Lumpkin in 1990 is a highly prolific writer and scientist who has chronicled the growth of the organic industry and published detailed lists of practices and practical economic guidelines for organic farming in the UK as early as 1995. For some recent advances and highlights in organic farming, these were coming from Lauter in 2002, Subi in 2003, and Francis in 2009, as they provided ideas and highlights taking place in organic farming as parallel to experiences by those in the Asian continent, specifically in the Southeast Asian region, and even in the global perspective, highlighting all the important elements being implemented or being used in organic farming, leading to sustainable agriculture. For the components of organic farming, basically I said earlier that this is covering seed to seed. The first on the list for the components is that of timing of planting or crop calendar. This is a very simple technique and yet effective if done properly. Basically, you have the months of a given year and you have the type of crop in mind, or the crop that you would like to plant in that given month. If you do so, and if you happen to have the proper timing of planting these crops, you will enjoy your harvest. And second on the list is the proper seed selection for planting. It is important to know where your seeds will be coming from, that they are of good quality, and this could later on dictate as to the type of yields or how much you will profit from your crop farming ventures. Third is soil health management. When we talk of soil health management, basically things that will come to mind are that of organic manures, green manures, vermicompost, fermented plant juices, and biochar. As depicted in the picture on the right, if we applied or provided the substrates to the soil, basically soil health is being maintained. Fourth, for the ecological pest control, as we know in crop farming, there are various pests that are coming from plant diseases, from insect pests, and weed pests. And basically, we have to control all of this. As depicted by that picture on the right, we provided a simple trap to control or to attract insects to go in it, and they are being trapped there and they are being controlled. Then we are doing ecological pest control in a way. Another way to do ecological pest control is that, as highlighted in number 5, is with the use of botanical pesticides. Neem tree extracts is an important example of this. As we use this and incorporate in our farming techniques, botanical pesticides can help us a lot in controlling pests and diseases. Let us remember lastly that we should do ecological friendly post-harvest systems. We gather, we get the yield, the things that we can get derive and benefit from our crop farming, and yet we're considering the welfare of the environment in doing so. For this slide, I summarized basically all the components of organic farming from seed to seed, and hope this list can help you in the future. So why sustainable farming? Sustainable farming and in general, sustainable agriculture, according to Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations in 1988, is stated that sustainable farming or sustainable agriculture should be, first, environment friendly, second, technically appropriate, three, economically viable, and four, socially acceptable. If these factors will be all combined into one, and if we will be able to achieve this, then this could help us to achieve our goal of or realizing the potential of organic farming leading to sustainable agriculture. And that should work if proper planting techniques and all the components of organic and sustainable farming were put into mind and into practice. For this particular slide, this is dealing on the contributions of organic farming and sustainable agriculture, as highlighted by that of the UN. This is the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs. And basically, I just like you to look on goals 13, 15, and 17, which organic farming and sustainable agriculture will have a significant impact or contribution to. Goal 13 is on climate action, Goal 15 is on life on land, and Goal 17 is on partnership for the goals. If we will be able to practice and achieve what we really want from doing organic farming leading to sustainable agriculture, then we are helping to attain the Sustainable Development Goals. Also, as we practice organic and sustainable farming, having in mind the Sustainable Development Goals, this can help us to achieve the following. First, food and fiber source for human need. Second, enhance environmental conditions. Third, attain economic viability of farm operations. And fourth, improve the quality of life for farming individuals, families, and society in a more holistic ways. Isn't it that this is basically falling under the achievement of Sustainable Development Goals? I know you're thinking and considering it as well. For my references, I used the following, and you can feel free to visit them as well and check for yourself as to how things being highlighted by these materials for organic farming, sustainable agriculture. I hope you learned something from my presentation, and we're looking forward to your questions, and hopefully we will be able to answer those in accordance to what you want to know. Thank you very much for listening.